Hey, Wedding Confessionals listeners, it's Brooke.
And Pam.
And we're coming in early. You hear that little strummy music? That means we're coming in before the show to let you know that this is a two-parter.
It is.
This is Beth Morrell.
Yes.
Part 1.
It is part 1.
Where she talks all about her new experience with weddings. Wink. No spoilers.
No spoilers, Beth.
No spoilers. So we're going to let you enjoy part 1, which is just her chatting about wedding stuff. Mm-hmm. And then part 2 will be next week where we get into actually the confessionals.
Yeah.
But in order to do this, that means there are no there are no bridal breaks for this week. So we're going to change that by adding bridal breaks at the end because we cut it in the middle.
We're here.
We're here for you.
Yes.
So basically, listen to part 1,
mm-hmm.
and then at the end of part 1, we're going to come in again and tell you all about our bridal breaks for the week.
You don't want to miss it.
No, you do not. Stay tuned.
Something borrowed, something blue. Give us all your juicy news, sensational, irrational. It's Wedding Confessionals.
Welcome to another episode of Wedding Confessionals. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Pam.
The only thing we love more than weddings
is talking shit about weddings.
I mean, we love talking shit about pretty much everything.
Anything.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah. But we also, but weddings is up there.
It is.
Okay.
Every day.
Yeah. So, Pam.
Yes.
We have officially crossed over into September.
Yes. We are here.
Granted, we live in Southern California. It was like 92 degrees today.
It's really freaking hot today.
Right. But it is fall.
It's
not
freezing
according to the equinox, but
in
according
this
to the
room.
world. I know. What we've discussed.
I have a
You
blanket
have a blanket on. Meanwhile,
Yes.
I'm a little sweaty. But it is fall. So we have football on the television.
Yes.
Pumpkin spice lattes are in Starbucks.
They are.
So I'm serving my favorite fall drink, which is not a fall drink, but because it's served in a mug, it's only to be drunk during winter and fall time. What is that drink, Pammy?
It's a Moscow Mule.
You have a Moscow Mule. Myself and our guest have a Kentucky Mule, which is bourbon instead of vodka.
All right.
Yeah, she's nodding like you like it, right? Is that your first
so
time?
Good. No, I
You've had it before? Yeah, it's good
and
stuff.
And also, it's a copper mug, so it's fallish.
Yes, and it's a mug. Yeah.
I'm on both sides of you because
You
mugs
need
are
to
to be
pick-
cuddled with
Uh-huh.
to warm up your hands.
Yes,
it's
but
nice
it's a cold-ass
It's a
drink.
copper mug and a cold drink, so not cuddly, but maybe like Southern California fall.
It is
Ooh,
good.
So
Southern
you want it to be
California.
fall, but it's still freaking hot outside.
I
So
like
there
it.
you go.
I like it.
It's good. I like that.
So the way this show works for all of our new listeners is that we have listeners send in anonymous confessionals.
Yes.
Sometimes they are rants. Sometimes they are questions. Sometimes they're just fun stories.
Sometimes they just need a vent.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just anger, frustration, and we get it and we feel you.
We do.
But we go through the confessionals with our guests, but in order to understand the guest's point of view, we have to talk about your wedding
Okay.
or your life with
Oh,
weddings.
so much.
So our guest, who is clearly on my side, let's just say it, is actually a returning guest.
Hey.
So this is Beth Morrell,
Hello.
co-host of Old Maids Podcast.
Yay.
Is it the Old Maids or just Old Maids?
I think it's just Old Maids.
No, the.
I should remember. I made the logo. I don't.
Yeah.
I think it's just Old Maids.
Because we're Wedding Confessionals,
Uh-huh.
but when I say Wedding Confessionals Podcast, I always say the Wedding. It's dumb.
all right.
I don't know when to put in articles.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome back.
Uh-huh.
You were previously on the show talking about your boyfriend,
Yeah.
who you were dating.
Yeah.
And
He's no longer my boyfriend.
Yeah. We brought you back in because what
He's my
happened?
fiance now.
Beth got engaged.
Yay! Congratulations.
Thank you. I do distinctly remember talking about we're kind of talking about and you
Yeah.
guys being like, well, you're not engaged yet. So now I can fully say
Yeah.
We're
And I
engaged.
mean, I feel like such a tacky
Yay.
jerk because I saw on Instagram that you got engaged, and my first thing was like, "When are you coming on the podcast?"
I was so excited to get that email. What are you talking about? I texted Cheryl. I was like, it's on.
Coming back.
It's like a rite of passage.
It is.
You are our second guest who has come on single and come back
No
engaged.
way.
Yes.
Oh, that's exciting.
Shout out to Lauren Elliott.
Number 2.
Yeah, so you're number 2 on this.
Yeah,
it's exciting.
maybe you guys are just a good luck charm. Maybe you need to have
I mean,
more
yeah,
single people.
If you feel like you're on the
There you
tipping
go.
point, come on our show.
Yeah.
Unless they're a jerk and maybe you're
And
just
then maybe
supposed to break
don't.
up.
Yeah.
We'll discuss.
So first of all, just to catch us up, for the people that haven't listened to your previous
I
episode,
mean, what's wrong with you?
I will put it in the show notes. I do not remember the number.
I don't
I
either.
feel like it's in the 50,
57, 58.
It's in
Somewhere
the
there.
show notes.
Uh-huh.
So I want you just to kind of walk us through. At that point, you had a podcast about being single.
Yes. So Stephen and I joke about this, that I started a podcast about being single, and
With your friend.
with one of my best friends,
Yeah.
Cheryl, and he decided it was time to buy a new mattress, and he bought a full size bed. So therefore, we both just solidified the fact that we were soon going to meet someone else, because these are two things that are not conducive to having another person in your life.
So you think a full size bed is
It's
not
not
for,
big enough
Okay.
for two humans.
I am 5'10".
Uh-huh.
My husband is 6'3".
Don't tell me you have a full size bed.
We
No.
had a full size bed for years.
A very
No.
long time.
Years.
Wow.
We were in a small apartment and we got it for free, and I was
okay.
broke.
That's
and
fair.
we now just have a queen. It is awful.
So
Just get the
I know, right?
The
I
king
have a
is too
queen.
big.
No, it's not.
I miss the queen.
You can sleep in different zip codes.
Do you
It's
want to
great.
switch?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we just had a
Don't
real life
joke.
Craigslist moment here.
We'll discuss because yes.
Wow, this
I
is
miss
magical.
I miss the well.
Do you
I
want
don't
to
know that-
discuss this with your your husband first?
I don't know that I can go backwards because
Uh-huh.
we've got 2 kids and 2 dogs, and at some point, not always,
Do the dogs sleep on
but
bed?
there's one always does.
Oh, see, you need
And
a
they're
king.
not small
Yeah.
dogs; they're
Yeah.
huskies.
They're
Yeah.
huskies.
You should keep the king.
Yes.
No, shh, Cheryl. What are you doing, Beth? Shh. Listen, if you want to give me that bed, listen. It's not that old. I mean, it's like 8 years old. It's kind of an old mattress.
That's too old. That's too old for a mattress.
The frame was a wedding gift.
I remember.
So I think that
That's
from
nice.
from my in-laws. So I think it's gonna be really shitty if
you
I
can't
give
give that away.
I gotta keep it.
That's the thing is like
Ugh.
his mattress, although small, is way comfortable.
Ooh, we got a fancy
It's
one.
great. No, it's one of those online mattress companies ones that I can never remember the name of. It's not
Casper?
Casper. It's not Lisa. It's not Purple.
Purple. Oh.
It's a fourth one that I can
is
never
one
remember.
named Lisa?
Leesa.
Okay.
I have a
just know
Casper.
Casper.
I have a Casper. It's a queen.
Is it
It's-
good?
It's comfortable. It's harder than I prefer.
Okay.
His is perfect. It's amazing.
You
But
gotta
it's a-
find out that name.
But it's
Yeah.
I want to make them a sponsor,
Yeah.
especially if they're good.
right.
And
It's,
I get a free
if you
king
like,
mattress out of this shit.
if you like softer mattresses, it's wonderful. And I don't
Oh.
love like feeling like you're in a hammock, but like it's great. I love it. And I know that since I've bought mine, Casper has come out with like one that has a little bit of a softer top.
Mm-hmm.
But I like my mattress. It's fine, but his is far and away. But I also love my bed frame. It's beautiful.
Oh.
So I don't know what we're gonna do. I think for the time being, we're just gonna keep mine, and then someday upgrade to a king because we've stayed in hotels before that of kings, and it's amazing.
It's magical, right?
It's like you're in different zip codes.
yeah.
You
don't-
are.
It's wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't even
But-
touch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty
One
great.
day, guys.
So,
one day.
I don't
my
know,
room's,
but-
my bedroom's not big enough for a king size.
That's the thing is
bed.
also we don't know where we're gonna
Southern
live
California.
Yet,
My
so-
house is small.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smaller rooms.
How did we get on this topic?
I don't know. I just make everything
don't
about
know.
me. So wait.
Anyway.
So you had this podcast.
Oh,
you started with your
that's what
friend
it
because
was.
you both were single.
We joked about us. Yeah, it's the perfect way to just make sure that you will eventually find someone is that you start a podcast about the only topic is about being a single woman, and then he bought a full size mattress. Because he was like, I'm not gonna need a queen anytime soon.
So you guys
but
met
anyway.
online,
We did. We met
and then
on
you
OkCupid.
journaled basically via this podcast your
Yeah.
dating experience.
You can hear my phone call directly after my date with Steven on an episode.
So cute.
Yeah, but it's not as fun as Cheryl, my co-host, her phone calls because I'm much more reserved in what I talk about. Cheryl just lays it on the line, so you hear exactly what she's feeling. I listened back to it because I was like, maybe I'll show Steven it, and I was like, I sounded like I was not super into it, which I was, but I was just being very hesitant. So
You're cautiously
Sure.
optimistic.
yes,
That
exactly.
makes
I was like,
sense.
I
That's
like
okay.
him. I don't know, he's cool. inside I was like, I think this is the one, you guys. But I
shit.
obviously would not say that publicly then.
Wait, has he listened to the podcast or no?
He didn't. I don't like date one stupidly. I told him I had a podcast about being single.
That's fair though.
It
You
just
want to
kinda
be
came up.
transparent. If you're going to be talking about him on the podcast,
exactly.
I
And
think that's
like,
smart.
Generally, Cheryl and I talk about like if it comes up, we'll talk about it. But like, it's not something where we be like, FYI, and we don't name anyone we talk about. We give them nicknames for
What is his nickname?
His name was Nerd Boy, just because I was tired and I didn't know what to name him. Cheryl has much better nicknames for her dates.
Why did you call him Nerd
Because
Boy?
he is. And that's fine because I am too. We actually have a lot of interest in common, which is super fun. But I just like, it was late at night and I was like, I don't know, just Nerd Boy, whatever. Which is kind of a bummer because a better nickname would have been way more fun. But yeah, so there, yeah, you can hear our whole thing. But no, he was like, I don't want to listen to the podcast because I want to get to know you. Not like, because he listened to other podcasts and he's like, I know that like the relationship I have with those hosts is very one-sided. I know way more about them. They know nothing about me because they don't know I'm listening. So it's like, I don't want that relationship with you. I want to like learn things about you as you learn things about me. I was like, thank you, because I don't want you to listen to this either. Whereas Cheryl had recently, I think on maybe last week's episode we talked about it, she had one guy who just was like, because I think she said something about podcasts on her profile, and he was like, hey, I looked up what your podcast was and listened to it. And it's like, oh no, you don't even like ask, like, oh no.
Because it's like for famous people.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's very easily Googleable. Like
Sure.
one of our names and like podcasts will probably come up.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It feels very weird. Like we are talking about semi-personal things, but like still maybe ask about it first. It's just like a etiquette
Put it
thing
out there in the world.
I know.
Or
but-
just listen to it and don't tell them until a couple weeks in.
There you go.
Right?
Be chill.
Yeah.
Like if I were
Just
to
be
ever
cool
date a
about it.
famous person, I would be chill about it.
But you'd be Googling the
yeah,
crap
I'd be
out of
like,
them.
oh yeah.
What other famous person have you dated? You know, that kind of, but whatever. I don't know. It's just it's a weird thing. So I was very grateful that Stephen was like, no, I'm not gonna. Like,
yeah, that's cool.
I like
you.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So wait,
because I wasn't
So
expecting.
you met via just doing, was it Tinder?
It was OkCupid.
Okay, Cupid. You go on a great date and you're immediately, first of all, because this is weird because now we're kind of going backwards.
Yeah, that's fine.
But we're just going to pretend like you're new.
Sure.
So, because we already did your personal history with weddings.
Yeah,
we already
yes.
did that in the last
Yeah,
episode.
lots
So
of
now we're
weddings.
just really diving into this relationship in a way that we didn't before.
Sure.
Because it felt inappropriate. What was it about his profile before you even met him?
Oh,
What was it
that's
that
a
was
great
like,
question.
ooh?
He was very funny, although I come to find out, I mean, he is a very funny human being. I come to find out that he had not touched his or changed anything on his profile for like 7 years.
Wow.
Because he made a profile because he went to school in Austin and then went out to New York for like a year and then LA. And I think he said he started his profile when he was in New York. So it would have been like 7 years or so. He's like, I never changed any of my answers on there. I was just every now and then just like flipping through things and just like whatever. It wasn't a thing that he regularly kept up. And just every now and then if something hit or if something really struck his interest, he would ask someone out. But like the thing that on my profile that made him message me was I had a picture from Comic-Con with a Deadpool sculpture and I had a Comic-Con exhibitor badge on it, so he's like, gotta ask her out.
She does Comic-Con stuff because he's a
So
nerd
apparently
boy.
he's a nerd boy. Yeah,
Right
and
on.
like he like runs like D&D games and stuff, so like we're on the level.
On the same level.
Yeah, but
That's
no,
cool.
his profile was funny and it was just very much clear like, oh yeah, no, I think we probably jive pretty well, and we did, because our first
Yeah.
date was like 4 hours accidentally. We sat at a bar for 4 hours.
What?
It was almost midnight. We're like, oh shoot, we gotta go.
Would you just casually go for like one drink and then
yeah,
you
we're like,
stayed?
well, let's just go like meet up for like a drink and like meet each other, and we just kept talking.
Yeah, because with an internet date, you really are just
Yeah.
like
Just
stranger
being, like,
danger.
Yeah, exactly. Like, do I like being around you? I don't know.
I have a random question.
Uh-huh.
Was that first date, because it's an internet date or whatever, internet dating, was it on a weeknight?
It was a Monday.
Yeah.
Because there's a reason. We started messaging on a Thursday, and then Monday morning he was like, hey, you want to like get a drink sometime this week? And I was like, yeah, sure. I leave for a weekend in Seattle on Friday. And he was like, ooh, I was gonna ask you about Friday. Tonight is my only free night. So it was like the only time in that like long week that we would have been able to see each other. So
That's cool.
Which the lovely thing, I think I told the story on our our podcast. I had not taken a shower that morning because I just woke up late and just like put my hair up in a bun and like ran to work. And so I was like, yeah, cool, let's do a date. How about like 8 so that I can run home and take a shower and my hair might be dry by then. So, look like I'm totally like just like fresh out of work, whatever. And Cheryl was like, man, you guys go on dates late there in LA. I was like, true. It seems like people do go out later than normal, but I was like, also, there's a reason why that one was so late because I had to look like I knew what I was doing with my life.
Like I had to not smell.
Yeah.
So how long between dating and did you guys talk about getting married? You did because you talked about it before.
Yeah, we started honestly. We started talking about marriage probably around like 5 months, which is not much. And I'm fully aware that it is a very quick relationship. One of my best friends got married. I think it was like 11 months after meeting her husband, and then a couple months later had twins.
That's better. I thought you were going to say got a divorce.
No.
I thought that was
fine.
They had now 3 children. They're wonderful and they are perfect together. They're definitely one of those couples is like, yeah, have a fast relationship. Perfect. Yeah. So I remember texting her at one point being like, did it ever freak you out how you're not freaked out how fast it's going? Because like, I know you guys had a fast relationship. So like just making sure. She's like, yeah, no, it just seemed right. I was like, okay, good. Because I'm like starting to freak out. I'm not freaking out. Like, should I be freaking out? I don't know.
Yeah,
stupid.
I think it's fine.
But yeah, no, so we started talking about it mostly because it came up as we were driving to a baby shower because he found out that the condo he and his roommates lived in was being sold. And so he's like, so we're going to start looking for a new place to live. What is our timeline? Like, should I sign a year lease or like, are we like, what's...
Yeah,
we need
do you want to cohabitate or do you want to get married or like engaged first?
Yeah,
or what are your rules?
Didn't want to, or at least I didn't. I think he probably would have been fine with either way, but I didn't really want to live together before getting married. Just, I don't know, it just wasn't my jam. So I was like, that's a great question that we should probably talk about now that like this is an impending thing. Like, yeah. So we talked about it and we're like kind of on the same level. Like, yeah, no, this is going in that direction, and so I don't know, we'll see. And then as I think the last time I was on, he tore his Achilles. And so that really like threw things for a loop. And it was fully torn, had to have surgery and wasn't walking for like a month and a half. And it was fun.
You drove him a lot, right?
I drove him to and from work for like a month or so.
Oh my God. Because when you came on, he had yet to have the surgery. So we knew shit was going to go down
He
soon.
was laid up in his apartment, no walking for, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh God.
And then he had a knee scooter for another 3 or so weeks after that. And so putting that stupid ass knee scooter in the back of my car every time we had to get in and out of that. I was really trying very hard to be patient with it, but by the time he was like, I need to start walking a little bit, I was like, good. I'm tired of this
knee scooter.
And like you have to like to collapse it, and it only fit in my trunk one way because I drive a Focus, so it's kind of small. You had to like put it in the side and then twist it. It was like only one way it would go in. Other than I'll be like, I was very tired of that thing. But I was like, and like he only works a mile from where he lives, and so like, and I live 3 blocks from him, so like, it was easy. It was not a big deal to drive him to work, so that was nice. But so it was definitely a trying time. But we had like talked about starting to look for rings right before that happened. So then there was like a couple months where I was like, nothing's happening because you need to walk again. So luckily he's walking now. So yeah, he actually proposed exactly 9 months between meeting and proposal. And it was the exact middle point between meeting and when we're getting married.
Wow.
We actually did the math and we're like, oh my gosh, that's weird. Like it wasn't intentional. It was just like, oh, this is the middle point of our relationship at this point.
Wow. So you knew that he was probably going to propose because you looked at rings.
Yes. So
you didn't know the details though.
Well, no, kind of, yes.
Right.
So we went ring shopping because we're both artistic people. So he knows that like what the ring looks like is very important to me. And he's like, and you have to wear it for
it's
the
a
rest of your
cute
life.
ring, by the way.
Thank you. I really love it.
Yeah.
It's super pretty.
Describe it to the audience.
It is rose gold, which I was hesitant because I don't want to be trendy. And rose gold is relatively trendy right now, but it looks the best on my pale skin. So who cares?
If you like it, who gives a shit?
Exactly. And it's
love is timeless.
And it actually has 8 prongs on it. So it has this kind of cool crown thing going on. And it's just like, it does kind of look like it could be a vintage ring.
You're like gazing at it.
I love it.
It's so cute.
Every now and then I do kind of stare. I'm like, it's so pretty. But we went in, there's so many stories about this. We went into like we went down to the Diamond District because there was a designer. The only place that sold it in LA was at this one store that I liked online. So I was like, I want to go see these rings because this one ring I picked online. I'm like, this is it. This is gonna be it. I love this ring.
Mm-hmm.
And so like he had called them before so that he made sure they had it and everything. And we went in and I hated it in person.
Oh no!
I was like, no, I feel nothing. I hate this.
And were you in like a private room? Was it
No,
awkward?
it was like a full like
stand?
jewelry
Okay,
store. But like
the diamond district in
diamond
LA is
district-
intense.
it's insane.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's the weirdest dichotomy I've ever felt, where it's like these literal malls full of diamonds and then outside tons of homeless people. And like it's so weird. So you're like,
Yeah.
I feel weird and privileged and shouldn't be walking around, but then like we're gonna go look at like $1,000 rings. Like this is
And there's just like gates and locks
It was
everywhere,
weird.
and you feel like the whole time that
And-
you're like cameras
Yeah.
and glass
and a lot of like
yeah.
gaudy, ugly stuff that you're like, no, why? Ugh.
Yeah, but you can't make
Yeah.
that face. You have to be like,
Yeah. So we had previously gone to Brilliant Earth, which is an online dealership that I see a lot online, and I saw a lot of designs I like. So I was like, they have a showroom in LA, so we actually go. So we went, and that was a private room situation.
Yeah.
And there was one that I really liked in there, but we decided to go to this other place too, and didn't like the ones that I picked out. So we were just like looking at more stuff, and the lady was helpful and like just handing us a lot of things to try on. And she threw this one at me, just not literally, just to like try on with a different band. I was like, but wait, this one's pretty.
Yeah.
Because like
Oh.
everything else was like super diamond encrusted and like just a lot of design and like a lot on there, and everything felt like it was a ring on my hand, not like something that was meant to be there. It just felt like there's a thing there, and it just didn't feel like me at
Yeah,
all. And then when I
yeah.
was like, I don't know, so we both kind of like fell in love with it. He's like, it looks like it could be from the 20s or now, I don't know. So
Cool.
I love it. I super love it. But it took a little bit longer than he was expecting for them to make it. And the only free weekend we had in like 6 weeks was like this one weekend, like the last weekend of June. So that Monday I was like, hey, are we doing anything this weekend? He's like, maybe. I was like, oh, okay.
I will not make plans.
I was
My
like,
hair will look
yes.
great.
I was
I
like,
gotta go get a manicure.
okay. And I was like doing my nails that night. And then he wasn't driving it. So I had to drive everywhere.
Drive yourself.
Exactly. So
my
he
gosh.
had this lovely. So the one thing he did surprise me was that he had one time I was napping in his apartment, and I don't have my phone locked, which I should learn by now. But one time when I was napping, he like opened up my phone and like took a bunch of my contacts for himself. So he had like called my boss and was like, "Hey, I want to propose this day. Can like come pick her up in the afternoon? Is that fine with you?" He was like, "Absolutely sure." So he surprised me to pick me up at work in the afternoon. I was not expecting it.
What do you mean pick you up like an Uber?
Like he Ubered from his work to my work.
Okay.
And then
he's not
was like,
driving.
And then put you in another
Exactly.
Uber.
Okay.
Got
And then,
it.
Yeah.
and then, so Dave was like, "No, you're done. Go home. Like you're go for your fun weekend." Like,
Aw.
yeah, which was the surprise of the weekend. I knew that it was happening that night. So it was this really weird. I was texting Cheryl about this. I was like, this is weird. Like going through my normal day, like knowing I'm probably going to be proposed to tonight. Like this is a very strange feeling. Like
Yeah.
we keep referring to things about like comparing things to The Bachelor throughout this whole thing, because she and I used to watch The Bachelor together, and like
Yeah.
we like referred to going to our parents' house to like doing hometowns this weekend, like just stupid things. But this is like the sad version of like the proposal day, where like they always do like the big getting ready like montage and like picking out her dress. I'm like going to work being like, I'm getting proposed to today. This is very weird. Great, but like it's surreal. So that was the one surprise that was like, oh, this is happening sooner than I thought. That's great. So he picked me up, by meaning he came to my work. The only times he's ever given me flowers.
Oh, he's not a flower guy.
I'm not really much. I love florals, but I don't
Yes.
like flowers
Got
that
it.
much because
Okay.
they die, and
Sure.
They do.
Then you just have to deal with them.
Yeah.
So he brought flowers, and they had like a bunch of snacks for the weekend and stuff. And
You like snacks romantic.
yay!
Yeah.
So we like loaded up the car, and I was like, "So where are we
Where are we going? Yeah.
So he had written. So I draw comics sometimes. And so he had written a comic script of our entire relationship.
Aw.
And
Wow.
so we, because he's a writer, so he was like, I can't draw, so I'm gonna write it for you. So we went to like important locations of our relationship throughout West LA, and at each one like read a different chapter. And like like the first one went to the coffee shop that was across from his old apartment that I used to work at a lot. So we sat there, had some tea, and like read it, started crying, and then went to the bar that we had our first date at. Except it was like 2:00 in the afternoon, so it wasn't open yet. So we just like stood out in the front on like Venice Boulevard.
Well, you were there on a Monday though.
It was like Friday at 2. No bars open at Friday. Like
No.
Not yet.
decent
Yeah.
bar.
No, that's
And my favorite thing is such a funny picture is like he took a picture of me in front of it. But it's on Venice, so like not the greatest boulevard in LA. And there's this big old, it's this cute little kind of older bar. It has like this cute old sign, this old fields, and there's this huge billboard behind it. For at that time, it was Skin Gentleman's Lounge with like a saucy looking lady on it. So that's like my favorite picture from our proposal. Is like me being like, "Hey, this is our first date, strip club."
Nice.
Yeah,
welcome to Los Angeles.
But like the sky is super blue behind it, so we could easily like Photoshop it out. But we're not going
Why
to
would
because
you?
it's hilarious.
Yeah.
No. Yes.
So we went to like 4 or 5 different locations and like read a chapter each one about like his perspective of like meeting and dating and stuff like that. And one of the stops was to return his knee scooter because he was done with it.
Oh.
He was like,
Oh.
he was like, our next stop is very important to you, but has nothing to do with our relationship. I was like, I don't know what this is. So we like stop it. He's like, we're returning the scooter. I was like, yes.
That's genius.
And so then we went to dinner somewhere up kind of by Malibu. It was good. It was, whatever. And I was like, when is this happening? Like, I know this is happening.
You're like,
So,
I don't
like,
care about food
yeah,
anymore.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay. And then so we went up to El Matador Beach. Are you guys aware of it? With like the really cool rock features? And he was like, I've always wanted to bring you here, but we haven't been able to go here yet. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. But I still know if this is it. So like, I was still wearing my flat. I had brought like a dress to change into. He did not like inform me of to when, because he was like, maybe
You
you
were
bring.
like bacheloring this up.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah,
I
exactly.
need a costume change.
But like he was like,
Hair and
bring
makeup
something
check.
maybe nice for dinner, and like he like because I was like, you need to tell me what to pack because I
Yeah.
don't know what's happening this weekend. So he told me what to pack, which included a nice dress for dinner. He never told me when to change. He's like, and maybe bring sandals too. He did not tell me to put my sandals on because we were going, I didn't know. I'd never been here before.
Dudes.
So,
Yeah.
so I'm in like my skinny jeans and like a shirt and flats, the flats I'm wearing right now actually. And so like we're like walking down because it's kind of a bit of a hike to get down with a bunch of steps. And secretly, he had not been telling me he had been working really hard at PT to be able to walk more.
Oh.
But he still had like his walking boot on, so he's like hobbling down with his walking boot. A bunch of people be like, "You go, dude! You got this!" So we're hobbling. I'm like holding his crutches just in case. And like we get on the sand, and like our shoes are just full of sand because of the beach. But anyway, so these are all the
His
like
poor
negative
boot,
things.
too.
I know, his
I know,
boot was
right?
covered in sand.
Making it heavier.
It was so gross.
Oh.
But so we get down there, he's like, yeah, this is good enough. So he gives me like the last chapter, and like I just start weeping. Like I like couldn't, because it gets really sweet, and like my eyes are blurring. I'm like, I can't. And like he's starting to take off his boots, so I'm like, oh no, I'm reading too fast. Oh no. So I'm like trying to like make the timing happen for him.
Yeah.
Okay, so then he pulls me over, and like I told him whenever he proposed, do not do it in a public place, because I like don't, and that's not me. Like I don't want that at all. Like no baseball game. Like there was a good amount of people at this beach. And so when he started like pulling me over, he's like, really? There's a lot of people, like really right here? Oh no. So, oh no. But it was really sweet. And like there was a gender reveal party going on up on the bluff, and so they were watching and were like cheering, which was really fun. But and he had it was just more people than I was expecting. But then like, obviously when it's happening, I'm not paying attention to anything.
Yeah.
But, so he had asked one of the guys he works with, who was a photographer, to come and take pictures. So we got some really
Cool.
wonderful like actual engagement photos. And he wore like sunglasses and a hat. He's like, I didn't want her to recognize me. I was like, dude, I've met you like briefly once. I would not have known you from Adam.
You didn't imprint into my life.
No, it was like a brief, like, oh hey, do you know? Okay, cool. Like whatever. He was very nice and he took great photos. But like in one of the pictures, there's like a girl in bikini, like halfway squatting down to reach something, like right behind us. Oh great! Like as Steven's going down on his knee. But luckily, part of Steven's job is to like comp up in Photoshop. So
Yeah.
he like did some amazing
Erased
magic.
her.
There is one photo that looks like he is proposing in this like desolate area in this beautiful location. Cannot see a single person. No idea. There's people all over. Yeah, it's great.
That's amazing.
But it was wonderful and it was sweet. And I think today you just Instagrammed something about whoever was on last, I think, about talking about proposing on the beach.
yeah, Dan
on the
Hines.
beach.
Yes, same thing happened.
Yeah, and I told you no spoilers
Oh, is that what you're like?
because we put up the quote that about when Dan Hines proposed and he had to close the ring box immediately because his fiance like tackled him and he was worried about losing the ring. And he was like, I was just like, I didn't care anymore. But she said less. I was like, I'm not losing this ring. I paid a lot of money for this ring.
That's exactly what happened. Where I was like, "What?" And Steve was like, "Lose the ring." Yeah, which is hilarious. But yeah, it was wonderful. And
crisis averted.
And he had actually gotten an Airbnb up in Angora Hills for the weekend. So we just like went up and like it was an amazing as this like pool house of this mansion that you get the pool and like little pool house, and we just like stayed there for the weekend, and it's beautiful and wonderful, and they're like, oh, we're so happy for you, next time come back, and I don't know if it's free. Like, they're wonderful. I accidentally broke a glass, and they're like, who cares, it doesn't matter, here's a glass of wine for you. Like, they were just so wonderful.
That's awesome.
It was like the best weekend, and it was wonderful, and it was great.
Aww.
So now we have to plan a wedding.
Yes.
So wait,
which sounds like it's soon.
Yeah. So that was about, how long ago was that proposal? About a month ago?
June.
Okay. So two, 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because we're in September as we drink our drinks out of mugs.
Are very fallish.
Fallish drinks, Pamela. Ish. We will land.
Emphasize the ish.
Listen, we will land on SoCal fall drink.
I get it though. Ginger is kind of a fall thing with like gingerbread. See, I'm leaning.
Oh shit!
There are ice cubes in this. There are ice
SoCal fall.
Beth's on my side. Okay, so back to your wedding planning. So now, it's been a couple months.
She's breathing heavy.
It's good. No, it's not that bad.
Going?
Okay.
Well, okay. So the first week after the engagement, I had a couple minor panic attacks. Just because like the reality of planning a wedding and how expensive and blah. And also like the kind of, basically we want to have kind of a backyard wedding just in someone else's backyard. Like that's the kind of wedding we want. Mm-hmm. And
that's what Pam had.
That's what I did.
Yeah. And the reality of that in LA is a little hard to make happen. And also I'm not a wedding planner. I'm not a event planner. I don't know how to throw a party or deal with vendors. So I was like, and we were just also doing some research, and I was like, this is going to be so expensive. Also, Stephen had emailed all of a bunch of our friends who've gotten married in the past couple of years, and we're like, hey, we're engaged. Cool. If you got any like pro tips or anything, let us know. They emailed us all of them, like all their spreadsheets, all their information, which is super nice. But I was like reading all of this at one go, and I was like,
oh, that's a lot of information.
So much. I was just it was too much information all at once. So the first week was not fun. I was like, I don't know, can we just elope? And he was like, we can't elope. I was like, why not? Can we? So we finally like have figured it all out. It's actually there's still a lot to do, obviously. It's a big wedding. But we're getting married early April.
Yeah, so you have a date.
We have a date.
Do you have a location?
Yeah, we have a venue. It's in Huntington Beach.
Cool.
It's not on the beach, which most people think. But it's at an equestrian center.
That's cool.
So there's horses gonna be witnessing us getting married, which I'm really excited about. But it's a wonderful location. It's literally down the street from my aunt's house. I had no idea this thing existed. I had actually seen it on like a web search pretty early on, but for some reason I don't remember why. I was like, nah, it's not gonna work. And I cannot remember why, because it's absolutely wonderful. It's perfect. I think it might have been they don't allow live bands, which I'm still a little bit like, I'm not sure why, because they allow DJs. So I think that might have been, because Steven's like, I'd really like a live band. So I think that might have been why I was like, nah, nope.
Maybe they can control the volume better with speakers.
Since there's live bands around
animals. Mm-hmm.
But
Who
anyway,
knows, man?
it is like an all-inclusive situation, and it's pretty affordable. Which is kind of amazing, because most all-inclusive places you're like, yeah, no, I'm not paying that. At least places I was looking at. So it's pretty great. And I have my dress.
And you both agreed on the location like immediately?
I mean, my mom, my parents and his mom had come out to wedding dress shop, because I was like, I would love you both to be here.
Sweet.
So they came
out.
We'll
talk about that too.
Yeah, we came out end of July to do that. And while my mom was staying at my aunt's house, she was like, there's a venue up the road. We're going to go look at it. Is that cool? I was like, sure. I don't care. Do whatever. And they're like, this place is great. Like, you should come out and look at this.
So your family scouted it for you.
My mom scouted it. And the guy was even like, your mom's really excited. And I was like, okay. But once we stepped foot on it, I was like, oh no, this is perfect. Because the only thing is that we're probably going to have over 200 people there.
Nice.
Which is a lot of people.
Yeah.
That makes it very expensive.
I was going to say, that ain't a backyard wedding, girl.
No, it's not. That's the only thing is like, because
you want the vibe of backyard.
Yes.
Okay.
He's the first one in his family to get married. Like, the first. And I'm definitely not. So, but he doesn't have a very big family, but like everyone's going to be coming out for this one.
Where is Steven, right? Is his name? Mm-hmm. Where is Steven's family from?
Mostly Texas and Pittsburgh.
Okay, right, because you said he started in Texas and New York and then LA. Got it.
Right.
Okay, so they're all going to come?
His whole family is coming. Whereas mine, I'm not sure if everyone's going to come. I mean, a lot of my extended family is already down here, but I'm not sure, whatever. So after all the family and like must-have invites, we still wanted our friends to come. And that would have filled up 150 really fast.
Yeah.
So like we still want our local friends to be able to come and, you know, hang with us. So we're like, you know what? We're just going to try to find a place where we don't have to limit the guest list. Like that would be lovely. Just
well, it sounds like too, he's lived here for a bunch of years, right?
He's been here for about 8 years. So he has more friends here and they've become my friends now. So like, we want to be able to invite those people and not just be like, sorry, it's family only. Like that would kind of be lame.
And at that point, why the hell are you having it in LA?
Exactly. Yeah. And like all my really close friends are long distance. So like, hopefully most of my girls are coming out anyway, but like, I would hope that some of my other friends would come too. So like, we don't want to have to limit it because that's really stressful. Having me like, this person is more valuable than this person, you know?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So so that was number one. Like we want everyone to be able to come. So that this venue holds up to 250 people. So
have you started creating that invite list? Mm-hmm. Are you cutting anybody?
No, not really. I think our invite list right now is at 260.
Yeah. Okay.
So So and that's including some kids. They don't count kids under 2. Which is nice. Yeah. And most of our friends have kids under 2. So that's nice. Because originally with the kids, it was like 290. And we're like, oh, no. But so everything's going pretty smoothly, honestly.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's pretty great.
Especially if all inclusive. That kind of takes a lot of the guesswork.
Oh my God.
That helps.
Yes. It's wonderful. That like we've and the only thing they don't include is a photographer and hair and makeup. Basically everything else.
You can get that dude in the hat to come.
The dude in the hat?
You're the friend that wore the hat to disguise himself to be a photographer.
Oh, gosh. Yes.
Your proposal story.
The engagement photographer.
Sorry.
You looked at me like
I was like, what are you talking
I had no idea either.
I should know.
That was when a callback doesn't work.
Yeah.
I don't want to besmirch him because he took great pictures, but Steven was like, honestly, I had to touch up a lot of it. So the magic of it.
But you want like a real wedding photographer.
Yes, and we found a couple. They're a husband and wife couple who did 2 of our friends' weddings, and they're really good.
Cool.
And they're super fun. Like when we interviewed them, we're like, can we just hang out with you? Like I think we would totally have a good time.
Friend?
Yeah, can we like just hang out? So we hired them, which is great, and we just interviewed there's 2 DJs that you can pick from, and so the only one that reached out to us so far, we're like,
wait, you have to choose between one of 2 DJs. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Because they're also they work a lot with this company, but they're also independent. So like if they're busy, you have another option. Yeah. And this guy was awesome. We're like, all right, like you're the only one who's reached out so far, so you get it. Like it was your job to lose, and good job, buddy, you got it.
Well, also I imagine if like it's a DJ that does weddings all the time at this venue. That
sounds like he knows
what they're doing. Yeah. Like if he was a nightmare and people hated him, they would just get another DJ.
Yeah. And this it's really interesting because the venue itself is owned by the city. And so this company that runs the events is contracted by the city to run events here. They're the only ones.
Interesting.
You can rent it just as a venue, but you have to literally do everything. It is literally just venue. You have to deal with trash. You have to clean up everything afterwards. He's like, yeah, you can do it from the floor up. Honestly, my package is probably a much better deal because I have all the venues. I have all the vendors I work with all the time. Yeah. We're a well-oiled machine. Yeah. You're not going to find a better deal than this. I was like, then you're hired because I don't want to have to deal with it.
Yeah. Especially it's good that you know yourself, that you're like, I know my personality and my skills.
I don't care.
Like I don't have that and I don't want it.
Yeah. And originally we were looking for places that you could kind of bring in your own thing and deal with it because that's the kind of party we wanted. We didn't want a hotel wedding. We didn't want like these hoity-toity things. So it was like, oh yeah, well check this out because it's really affordable as just a venue only. And then you started launching into this thing. I was like, oh no, you're doing it. You can take it. And like he has his florist that he works with all the time. So we'll meet with her individually. And like if we want anything more than the packages, we just deal with her separately.
Is it indoor, outdoor? How does it work?
Okay. It's only outdoor. And they have had to tent before. The DJ was telling us last March, he was doing a wedding during that weekend that had like downpours in LA. Remember that wonderful weekend?
Yeah, the mudslides.
Yeah, it was a really, really rainy weekend. And he was like, yeah, it was honestly one of the best parties we've ever thrown. I had a hell of a time because like stuff was raining on my equipment. I had to like patch things and stuff, but he's like, everyone had a good time.
Okay.
So he's like, I know how to deal with it. I was like, great.
Cool.
Awesome. Early
Yeah.
April, it could potentially rain. Probably
Listen,
not, but like it could.
You just got to roll with
Yeah,
it.
exactly. And like,
You'll have
I don't
fun.
care. As long as the vendors know how to deal with things, everything will be fine.
Yeah.
And that's what everyone we've talked with so far is like, our goal is to make your day perfect. So like, don't worry about anything. It's like, yay. That's
Done.
Saying
all
the
I
right
want.
things.
And they have like this beautiful bride's room and a groom's room. Like it's really well done.
That's
and
cool.
yeah, it's like kind of
Aw.
a great location. So I'm super excited for it.
So April?
April 6th.
What?
Yeah. I know.
so
It's
exciting.
exciting.
It's 7 months away, and like part of me is like, that's so far, and part of me is like, there's a lot to do.
It's not far. Because once you get
Yeah.
into the holidays, I
Exactly.
mean,
Yes.
November, December is
Not
just
a lot
gobbled up.
happens.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
January hits, and it's
Yeah,
gonna be,
January's
It's
going
like
to be
go
like,
time.
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the dress?
Dress.
And
Yes.
dress shopping?
I want to hear.
So, I mean, you guys run a bridal podcast, so you
Yeah.
know that like everyone says like 6 to 8 months before your wedding, you have to order your dress, right? Except for David's Bridal will get it to you in 2 weeks.
Oh,
2 freaking weeks.
they're a machine.
Yeah.
I was so confused because I was like, so we waited about a month to go dress shopping so our moms could be there, and I didn't have any of my friends just because like moms whatever, and like
You just did Steven come?
no.
So just the moms
Just
and you,
my mom
the
and
three of
his
you
mom.
gals. You
Yeah.
went to a David's Bridal.
We went to David's Bridal because being involved in so many weddings, I'm like, I'm not going to David's Bridal. But then I looked online, I was like, they actually have a lot of good
Does it like
designs right
Vera
now.
Wang?
Oh, yeah.
They have Vera Wang,
Yeah.
and I was like, I love a lot of her stuff, and they actually have a lot of good stuff, and
They
it's
do.
all in the. I didn't want to spend more than $1,000 on a dress because like
It's a lot of
it's
money.
a costume and it's a lot of money, and
Yeah.
like I know what this is. So I was like, all right, I'll get an appointment there, and I was really overwhelmed about the dress stuff because if I was doing this in Washington, I know where to go, but I don't know anything down here.
It's hard when you have a big city
Sure.
too because
Yeah,
the
there's
options are
There's
endless.
so
every
many.
and
Yeah.
they're so far apart, and
Yeah.
there were 2 places that I got personal recommendations for, and they were both up in like Simi Valley, and I was like, I'm not going up there. Like already our moms are like, my mom's staying down in Huntington Beach. I'm not gonna have her drive up to Santa Monica and then drive more. Like
That's like 2.5
it's
hours.
so
Yeah.
far away.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's not gonna
No.
happen. So I found so David's Bridal is in like Beverly, so I was like, that's pretty close to me.
My dress
Easy.
was also David's
Yeah,
bridal.
they're not terrible. It's not the worst.
It's cute.
I mean, it's
It's fine.
whatever.
I loved it.
Yeah, as long, and you can make a dress your own, so whatever. And then I found there's this online retailer. Maybe I won't say it because I don't have very nice things to say about them.
Okay.
But they have an LA showroom, and I was like, they have really affordable dresses that a lot of the designs I loved online. I was like, cool, I can actually go see these in person. I don't have to just buy it online and hope for the best.
Yeah, that's such a gamble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was like, awesome. I made an appointment there. I made an appointment David's Bridal on a Friday afternoon because I didn't want to go on a Saturday. There's no way
Smart.
I'm going on a
Yes.
Saturday. I'm not elbowing women out to get a dress. Not happening. So we went on Friday. We started at David's Bridal. The consultant was amazing. I love her. I want to be friends with her. She's amazing. She like
You're now
spent-
friends with the photographers
know,
and
it's
the
so
And
I
the-
love
yes.
it.
But she like spent
Okay.
time to like figure out like what kind of styles I like, and I told her, I was like, I'm open to trying on everything because I love the ball gown look, but I am a short human being. It might be too much on me. I don't know. I've never tried on wedding dresses before.
Well, it's so weird too because wedding gowns are just not a kind of silhouette or
Yeah.
dress. I mean,
You
yeah, you
never
wear
know.
dresses from time to
Yeah.
time, but you wear like a maxi skirt or,
Or,
like a
even
cute
prom.
cocktail. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
But like a
different.
It's not
floor
something-
length
Yeah.
gown.
Yeah, it's
Nobody knows what their body looks like in that.
Exactly.
You have no idea.
Yeah, so I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know, put me in different stuff. Here's the kind of stuff I like, but like I'm opening. I'm not like a closed-minded person who I have to have this one thing. So we tried on a bunch of stuff.
You were
and
a dream for her.
Did it feel like a montage? Was it
It's
so
a little bit.
fun?
We distilled it down pretty quickly. Although I have learned a lot about myself in this whole wedding process, is that I am way more of a people pleaser than I thought. Like I don't want to be like,
no.
I don't like this because it might hurt someone's feelings. Come on, Beth. Like, who cares? It's a dress. Like,
It's
came to
hard.
find out later, like, because I don't like the dresses that are like obviously like one dress on top and a totally separate dress on bottom. Like, I don't like that. I want it to be one more thing. And so I pointed at the one that was on the mannequin. I was like, I don't like this. Like, this is not what I'm looking for. She's like, okay, cool. Later, I find out that was her wedding dress that she walked on the aisle, which I'm glad I didn't know, because I would have been like, I hate your dress. I wouldn't have said that. But I was like, that's not me. But she was super cool about it. She's like, I know that like that's not everyone's choice. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't like how it just stops at the knee and then does a whole different dress at the bottom.
Yeah.
She was like, that was my favorite part. Whatever. I should just get over it. But
everybody has different tastes.
Exactly.
And also what looks great on someone else may look terrible on you.
So she was great about like trying to find new things and trying to like really distill down what I was looking for, which it all ended up being the exact thing I was looking for. Like for years, I have really loved this one kind of dress that's pretty vintage and pretty 50s, like ball gown with like the lace that kind of drips down, which is very in now. It wasn't several years ago when my friends were getting married, when I was looking at a bunch of dresses with them. But now, and it's like the exact dress I thought I was going to end up with. And it's beautiful. And so I loved it. And she's like, there's something, you're hesitant about something. I was like, I have another appointment. She's like, fine, go. Like, I don't care. Like, I'll be here. Like, if you need it,
it's
whatever.
David's bridal. We're here.
Exactly. Yeah. She's like, it's fine. So I felt bad because I was like, I want to give you this commission because you're amazing. But so we took lots of pictures and stuff, and it's really pretty.
Do they let you take pictures? Mm-hmm. Because I remember when I went to a David's bridal in Burbank, and they would not let you take pictures of the dresses.
That's crazy.
And the reason why is that people would try to take them and redo the patterns.
That's stupid. It's David's bridal. You're not going to get cheaper.
Yeah, I wasn't even there for like bridal stuff. I was there to like, I went to Brittany's wedding. Brittany Krasner Welsh. Her wedding was in this fancy, cool art museum.
Oh,
cool. But one of the things they wanted to do was they really wanted to be like everybody is like black tie. So Tristan wore like a tux, and I had to wear a floor length gown.
Wow,
which was fun to. It was fun to shop for that. It was just like going to fun dress shops.
Full black
and just,
tie though. That's rare.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was really cool. It was beautiful. But I'm really tall, so trying to find a floor length gown on my tall ass was not easy.
Yeah.
I ended up not finding anything at David's bridal. Yeah, exactly. But I ended up not finding anything at David's bridal. But like I remember like enjoying myself and we had fun there. But like I remember there's a point where I wanted to take a picture of one thing that may work to send it to somebody like, oh, what do you think? They were like, no pictures.
That's crazy.
And I was like,
that's nuts.
This
she
is
was
weird.
like, take as many pictures as you want. You need to like think about it and like look at yourself in them. Like your memory is gonna not
or
last.
Like what if like somebody's mom, like I want my mom to see me in the dress. I don't know. It was weird.
That is weird.
It was aggressive.
That's
I know.
But anyway, that's wonderful.
I took a picture in the dressing room.
Yeah, it's a selfie. So we went over. Then we went down to the garment district to this one place, and it's a beautifully decorated boutique. The service was absolutely terrible. Like there were two people working, literally no one else in this boutique, no other person. They spent like 10 minutes on the phone, not even like recognizing that we were there. And they were like, "Oh, please sign in."
You had an appointment.
I had an appointment. I was like, "Cool, all right." And so when I had asked for an appointment online, they had asked like which dresses you would like to have pulled for you. So I gave them like probably 7 that I really liked online. So she's like, "We haven't pulled back in this dressing room. Here you go." Like, where's David's bridal? They like help it onto you.
Like you're at the Old Navy.
It was. I know. And these dresses were so heavy.
Yeah, you need help getting into them.
The ones like I was trying on a lot of ball gowns at David's bridal, not that heavy. These dresses were so heavy. I don't know if that means maybe like not as high quality fabrics.
Also, I feel like there's kind of a song and dance. I mean, granted, I've watched hours and hours of Say Yes to the Dress.
Me too.
We all have. But the idea of like if I'm spending a bunch of money on anything, you do want to cater to the guests a little
and,
bit.
Like no one else. It's not like a Saturday where there's like thousands of people waiting. No one else in
make
this.
You feel special.
Literally,
make you feel pretty.
No one else here. Like
Fuck
it was
these guys.
I was like, okay. She's like, if you need help getting zipped up, I'll help you. I was like, okay. They did not have undergarments to help out. They did not have petticoats. It was what? Right? Okay. Thank you. I was like, okay. And like, if I'm buying a ball gown, I probably want it ball gownish. So I was like, do you guys have something that I can like put under to see how it'll look? They're like, no.
Poof it out a little.
Yeah. Also, that I can buy from you. Like,
right.
You want me to buy this?
And granted,
right?
like it's all online sales, but like. I don't know, buy a couple just to have, like, it was weird.
I know, but it's like
so
Warby Parker has
Warby Parker
shops.
lets you try them on.
Yeah, Warby Parker has glass shops in certain big cities. And like, yes, they're an online store, but like,
they should still have.
They're not like whatever asshole trying glasses. Like they help you.
It was weird. So they pulled a bunch of dresses that were too big. I mean, granted, most of the time they were, but like at David's bridal, they fit me. Like, I actually am a full size there. Like I don't have to get that dress taken in.
Wow.
Which is nuts.
Wow.
A little weird. Like it fits me perfectly.
Is
right
that
now.
why it's 2 weeks for you? Because
It
there's
must
not much
be.
alterations?
No, well, I will have to go back for like hemming
Yeah.
and stuff. But anyway, this other place, I was so baffled. They were fine. A lot of them were like, oh, this does not look as good on me as it does online, which is weird. And like a lot of the dresses like had buttons up the back and all the buttons had like fallen off. Like they were just not in good repair for like sample dresses. But anyway, there was one that was
It's a
hanging
terrible
up.
business model.
It was
Yeah.
very weird. And like it was really cutely decorated. The boutique was nice. And it was like on the 4th floor, so you had like really cool like windows and light and stuff. It was very weird. But there was one dress hanging up and I was like, can I try that dress on? I know I didn't say that I like wanted to see it, but I can't. They're like, yeah, sure, okay. So I put it on and I was like, oh no, I really like this dress.
Oh.
It was beautiful. The only thing, she was like, oh, that can be taken off. There was a huge butt bow. Like it was like these two, like it wasn't a bow, but there were these 2 rosettes on the butt that were, and then like an extra train thing.
That's so weird.
It was very like, if you were going to the Oscars, it might be that kind of like I'm making a statement dress.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not walking down with butt rosettes. Like it's just every
'Cause
time
you're
I turned
back
around,
to
I
everybody,
laughed.
yeah.
Like it just made me giggle. It was so stupid. But she's like, we can take those off. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I really liked the lace. It was basically the same dress, just like different. Like the lace was different. It had like a silver gray lining, so it wasn't. Whereas the other one was more of like a champagne lining. So it was really interesting. It like the lace was pretty. It had a layer of lace underneath it, so you could like see it. It was gorgeous. I really liked it, and I spent 3 or 4 days afterwards anguishing over which dress to pick.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't, because they were very similar dresses but different vibes.
Yeah.
And I liked the buying experience of David's Bridal better, but like part of that dress I liked better, but I didn't know if it was worth the gamble of that company. And I
Also,
was
like with the
and they were
rosettes,
same-
you never saw it with the rosettes up. What if there's a
she
weird?
had a picture. Someone had bought one without it, so she had a
Okay.
picture of like, this is what it looks like without
Okay.
it. So I was like, okay, and it had like a lace-up back that was really pretty, whereas
Okay,
the other
cool.
one just zips. So like, there's lots of like pluses and minuses of each one, but I was like, in the end, it came down to like, I don't trust them. Like I don't,
Yeah.
and they came out to
Yeah.
about the same cost too. So that was also like, God. But I was like, I don't trust that company. Like it was just weird enough that I was like, I don't know. And they ship it to your house. It's not like you go back to pick it up. So it was just like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know if it's not worth it. Like I'm not going to miss that dress. Like this dress is perfectly wonderful. And also then that same weekend we found that venue. It was all in one weekend. It was quite a
Oh
weekend.
my goodness.
Damn.
But after seeing that location, I was like, this is the right dress, because if I was getting married in the winter, like in Colorado, that dress would have been perfect because it looked kind of ice queenish. Like it was, and it was bluish gray, so like it would have worked well. But this is like, no, this is the dress. So now I have it hanging on the back of my door for like 4 months until
my
I go in to get it
God.
altered, because it came in 2 weeks.
And it's huge. You can't like put it anywhere.
It's in
Right?
yeah, it's in this big old garment bag. And like it doesn't fit in my
Steven knows
closet.
not to peek.
No, he's good. He's like, oh wait, it's okay. But it's a white garment bag, so you can kind of see the lace through it. So he was in the other day, and I was like, oh no, shoot. So I had this like big old red blanket, so I just like kind of tucked it around and threw it over. It looks like a Handmaid's Tale blanket, like a cloak hanging on the back of my door. It's real creepy.
Horrifying.
Yeah, but so yes, I'm very excited about getting that dress all, because I'm gonna have kind of off the shoulder sleeves added to it and get it hiked up to my short stature. But yeah, it's real pretty, and I'm real excited about it.
Good.
Yay.
It just came in 2 weeks, and the lady was even like, "Oh, you're not getting married till April." Like judging me that I had ordered dress so early. I was like, "Come on!"
Yeah.
That's what everybody says.
Well, also sometimes it takes a while to find
Yeah,
the dress,
and
so
I-
you're like, I
yeah.
gotta start. What if it takes me a month to find something I like?
I did
Yeah.
consider going to a couple other boutiques, like the ones that my friends had suggested, just to see if there was something else I liked more or whatever. But then I was like, nah, like it's not you're not gonna find a ball gown at that price anywhere else. Basically, that's
Yeah.
True.
That's
not
true. When you get
gonna-
into that much material.
yeah, it's just not gonna happen. So I was like, I'm fine with. I don't want to be just one of those like people that like sweats over 12 different dresses. Like,
Yeah.
that's good.
To
I'm
check
happy.
something off the list is satisfying.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, but
those are 2 big checks.
But also, it is a David's Bridal brand, so they probably just had it sit in a warehouse somewhere. They didn't have to make it, where like a lot of the designers do. But
Yeah.
it's like 2 weeks. Come on.
Who cares, man?
Now I
That sounds
can
great.
look at that that bag hanging on the back of my door for.
And you can randomly
6 months.
try it on when you get like one
yeah.
night when you're bored
Oh yeah,
and
It's already
excited.
happened. I did the day I brought it home. I laid it on my bed and unzipped it to like look at it. I was like, oh, pretty. And my roommate was like, oh, that's beautiful. I was like, I know, I'm so excited. And then I like zipped back up and hung up. I was like, what am I doing? Of course I'm gonna put
Try
it on.
it
Like,
on.
yeah. So yeah.
Fashion
Yeah,
show.
no.
This is like a sitcom like disaster
Oh
waiting
yeah,
to happen.
where I'm
though.
sitting
You're
on the
like,
couch, like
put
total
all
friends.
the red
yeah.
wine away.
Yeah. So yeah, wedding planning stuff is going really well, and it's a little weird that it's going so well. So I'm excited.
I have one more wedding planning question, and then
Yes.
we'll move on to confessionals. Bridal party.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How did you are you having one?
Yes.
How did you
Yeah.
decide? Did you guys have a whole group combo between you and Steven about how you wanted to do it?
Yeah. So we talked about like, because he has 2 brothers, so 2 is an easy number. And I was like, I have 3 people that is easy to do. 4 would also be easy, as would 5. But I would prefer to have a smaller party, just because also like, I don't need 12 and 3 junior bridesmaids. Like that's insane. And also most of my friends are long distance, so like asking someone to come to California for a wedding, it's a big ask. So I have like my 3 best friends. So I was like, this is an easy number, and he was like, yeah, I can make 3 happen. Originally we were talking about just doing like his 2 brothers and my brother. But then he was like, no, I can come. I'll ask one of my friends. I was like, okay. Because he doesn't have like one like best friend. So so anyway, we negotiated down to 4. And so I asked one of my other friends who was just recently out here. So it's my 4 best friends, that 2 of my college friends and 2 of my like childhood friends. So it's a really fun group, and they all know each other just because we've all been in each other's lives forever and stuff, even though 2 of them are Canadian and 2 are from Seattle. So that's cool. It's a really fun group.
So everyone's kind of everywhere. So
Yeah.
no one's really local.
No one's
Okay.
local. And they've already started a text chain without me. So it's
That's cool.
and like
Oh,
Cheryl is
nice.
a planner, so she's
Yes.
already
She's
like,
on it.
She's
It's
planning a shower
fine.
for January when I'm up in Seattle.
Is there a
so-
maid of honor?
Yeah, Cheryl's
Is that
the maid of honor.
Cheryl? So Cheryl's just like taking
She's
the
on it.
reins.
Mhm.
Ugh.
Yep.
If she comes to LA, we want to
Perfect.
pull her in and get details.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
It's
cool.
fun. And then he asked one of his friends from college and one of his friends from high school, I think. So
That's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so
All
it'll be
right.
fun. But
So
yeah,
no drama there.
Everyone is long distance. No one in the bridal party is in LA.
Well, the good thing is that you did the dresses with the people you wanted to.
Yeah.
The venue's taken care of. Sounds like you're good.
And all the bridesmaids have already found their dresses, because I
What?
just told
What?
them, find a green lace dress. I don't care.
green lace.
So
That's
like a
nice.
dark green.
Dark green. Okay.
Apparently there's like a bunch of them on Amazon right now. They're all like $30.
wow.
They all like chatted with me and were sending me pictures. Like, cool. And they all like ordered them and tried them on and sent pictures. They're like, this looks great. All right, cool.
Wait, are they all doing the same? Or are they
different
all
dresses?
doing different?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was like, I don't want to dress my
Cute.
bridesmaids up like Barbies. Like dress, I don't care.
What-
They're like,
which
what
one?
shoes should we wear? I'm like, whatever you want to wear. There's grass. I don't know. Do whatever you
a
want.
wedge.
Yeah.
There's grass.
There's
Yeah.
The ceremony is on the grass portion and everything else is paved. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because you have to think about their polite walk down.
Exactly.
Sink.
Oh, I have sunk into at my.
I was
going to
say, what
are
are you?
wedding.
You have to think about
I-
that for your shoes
I
too.
sunk into, yes, I have a pair of, I kid you not, Crocs make amazing wedges that are actually kind of cute, and they
Oh.
are so comfortable.
And also, you're in a ball gown, so
Exactly,
like
who
you can't see
cares?
anything.
Yeah.
You have to
you
stand
should-
for a long time.
Yeah, one of my friends brought Croc wedges because I talked about it on my podcast. They're so comfortable, you guys.
Croc
Crocs
wedges.
makes a couple styles of women's shoes that are not ugly, and they're
I have
amazing.
the ugly ones, and I like them.
I honestly, after this, go onto Crocs.com and check them out. They're great.
We will
Okay.
put a link in the
Yes.
I'm
show.
a big fan.
This is happening.
so good.
They're so comfortable.
Oh my gosh. I'm
So
getting
we
a
are
pair.
definitely up to date.
So I'm wearing
on
Crocs
your
to my
Yes.
wedding. I'm wearing Crocs to my wedding, you guys.
I think we just found the show
There's a
title.
title. Yep.
As promised, we're back.
Hello.
Hi, Pam.
That was fun.
It was fun. I laughed. I cried. It was better than cats. So, Pamela,
Yes.
bridal breaks, for any of our new listeners, welcome, are just suggestions we give to not only brides, but anyone planning a wedding of fun things to do that have nothing to do with wedding planning, so you can enjoy your life and step away from the RSVP cards and picking out dresses and drama with your family.
Exactly.
Enjoy
Not
your
just
life.
brides. It's anybody. If you're
Yes.
a bridesmaid or you're a family member or anybody who's involved in any wedding process, you need a break.
In general, in life, we all need breaks.
It's true. You
Enjoy
don't-
life.
It just doesn't have to just be weddings.
I know, exactly. So these are the fun things that we think you should do. Because
Yes.
we're here to boss you around, even in the joyful parts of your life. Pamela always gives a drink.
Yes.
What drink for this week?
So I have one that I found on gardenandgun.com.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting, but I couldn't say no to it because it reminded me of you, Brooke. Like
Okay.
this one spoke to me and was like, "This
Was
is
it the gun aspect that was like, Not so much?
no."
Okay, hit me.
This one's called the Third Man Cocktail,
Okay.
and it has grapefruit
Yes,
and bourbon
I'm in.
and Campari.
I love all of these things.
I know you do.
I've never had those together.
Apparently, it's amazing.
Okay, what's it called again?
The Third Man.
Okay, and how do you do it? Is it just over ice or is it on a
Yes.
up? Okay, all right, I'm in.
Yeah,
I would drink that. It's a slow sipper.
try it
Put
out.
some hair on your chest. I
Let
love
us
Campari. Mm.
I know you do. So you're gonna have to try this and let us know.
Okay, cool. I like that.
All right.
My bridal break for the week is a book that came out a while ago. You know those things where you buy a book and then you forget to read it and then you look at your stack of books and you're like, oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
I've had that for like a year or so.
Yes.
I think I've had this on that surge where I'm like, I'm going to read more. And then I read like 2 things and then I stopped. Anyway, I'm like, once again in my I'm going to read more phase.
Okay. Yep.
So I bought a bunch of books,
Okay.
but then I looked at the books that I hadn't
We
read
haven't
yet.
finished.
And I was like, I should go to these first. So if you look to the right, Pam, see this stack of books?
Oh my God.
I know, but I can't read them yet because there's like 2 more that I haven't read for the
That's a
last time
big
I did this.
stack.
I know. Well, I'm not even a fast reader. I just stupid and buy things on Amazon. It's too easy. Anyway, so the book that I read recently is called Liar, Temptress, Soldier, Spy by Karen Abbott.
Okay.
And it's nonfiction, and it's just she's a really good historical writer, and it's specifically about 4 different women who were some sort of spy in the Civil War.
Oh.
Yeah. So
That sounds fun.
yeah, so there's 2 on the Union side, 2 on the rebel side.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of gives you all the different perspectives. What's really cool is that at times they cross over and they interact with each other. I mean, it's very
But they
real.
don't know this.
But I mean, us as the audience reading this,
Yes.
they don't. I mean, this is all historical, real stuff. It's not fiction. So these are real women that lived.
Wow.
Yeah. So the 2 from the Union, one is a spy living in Virginia and is trying to help out the Union while she's stuck in the South.
Okay.
The other person from the Union is a woman that went undercover as a soldier. So she lived as a
Whoa.
man. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then the other one was somebody in DC that was like doing all the like espionage for all the people like down south. And it was like while she was living in DC, and then like it's like there's prison, there's like children involved, there's lovers. It's
What?
but it's also
That sounds
really,
really good.
interesting. Oh, and there's one more person that also is like a rebel down south or whatever. And like sometimes they're in Europe, sometimes they're like it's really interesting because it just breaks it down in a really like specific way that's very small because you're just following just people's lives, but also big picture because they keep jumping around to all the different, parts of the country at the time. But anyway, I thought it was really cool and I hope they make it into a movie.
Ooh.
Yeah, right.
Good idea.
Yeah. So anyway, it was just very interesting. And I was very proud of myself for finishing that because it was a big grown up book. And also I just genuinely think it's cool because it's like all about women, which
Nicely done.
a lot of
Yeah.
times Civil War is just about a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
But ladies, they did a lot of stuff.
Hell yeah, we did.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely the storyline about the woman undercover as a soldier was very cool.
Nice.
Really interesting.
Ooh, I want to read it.
Anyway, yeah. So again, the book is called Liar, Temptress, Soldier, Spy by Karen Abbott.
Check it out.
Yeah. So that's it. I feel like the bourbon really goes well with that.
I think it does.
Yeah, that your drink,
Yeah.
but your 3 men and my 4 ladies.
We didn't even plan it.
I know, we never do. Some things we plan and some things we really don't at all.
True. That one worked out.
Yep. So Pammy, now that we're done with bridal breaks,
Yes.
we do have to tap into chatting about our podcast, and we're gonna see how smart you are, Miss Lady, in the form of a quiz. You're very intelligent. You're gonna do just fine.
Yes.
So Pam,
Yes.
if people want to find out more about the show, including show notes, what website do they go to?
Check out weddingconfessionals.com.
Correct. At weddingconfessionals.com. You can also get links to our social media pages. Where are we on social media?
You can find us on Facebook,
Yeah.
Twitter,
Yep.
Instagram, and once again, Pinterest.
Pinterest.
Yeah.
She's doing it. Still don't
So
understand how
fun.
it works. I just click on things and it's fun.
I get lost.
I like when you click on the thing and then underneath other things they suggest.
It's amazing.
And then you just keep going
it's a
and
rabbit
going.
hole. Oh,
Ugh.
it's amazing. I could
Yeah.
just spend hours, and I do.
I remember the time that I told you that a coworker who had never heard of Pinterest before asked me, just genuinely, she's like, what is Pinterest? And I said, it's like an internet magazine that never ends. I didn't know what else to say.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, just like never ending pretty pictures that you're like, ooh.
But, like I used to cut out magazines and keep articles, and now I don't have to do that anymore because I never would go back. But now I can be like, oh, look, this is fun.
Yeah, it was super fun. So Pammy, we want people to share their stories. We want your confessionals.
We love the stories.
We do. They're the heart of the show.
We love them. Thank you. Keep them coming.
Yeah, they entertain us when we're recording this, but also just as we get them throughout the day.
Yes.
Oh, when that alert comes in, what a thrill. There are 3 ways that you can send us your confessionals.
Mm-hmm.
The first is an email address, Pammy.
weddingconfessionals@gmail.com.
Do you know the phone number?
No.
Okay. 434-933-2663. 434-933-2663. From there, you just leave us a voicemail and we will transcribe what you write. Or what you say. And then again, we'll change the names. Everything's anonymous.
Yep.
Secrets are safe. The third way is our most popular way, which is going to our website, which again is
weddingconfessionals.com.
And then you click on a tab that is
Tell us your secret.
Tell us your secret. Simple form. No email, no phone number needed.
Nope.
What do they do, Pam?
You just jot it down, whatever you're feeling, or if you need to vent or have a question, just leave it with us.
And then you hit send.
And you hit send.
Yeah. So all your emotion, get it out, and then boop. Pamela.
Yes.
We are available on a bunch of different podcast providers.
Mm-hmm.
We want to talk about Apple/iTunes.
Apple/iTunes.
How many stars do you want people to give there?
I prefer 5. I'm not sure if the listeners know this yet or not.
I mean, you've been kind of vague. I'm glad you're finally having the spine to get out there and tell people.
It's been difficult, but really 5 is it.
So 5 stars.
Yes.
And then a rate and review would be great. We move up in their weird algorithm that doesn't make sense to us, but more people will find us, and then you're helping more brides and grooms out there.
And it makes us happy.
It does. Make Pam happy. She has to deal with me every damn day. Give this woman a break.
Come on, help me out.
So besides now in alphabetical order, Pam, we're going to see how far you get memorized wise. Apple Podcast is the first one. What's next?
Castbox.
Yes.
Castro.
Yes.
Downcast.
Yes.
Google Play.
Yes.
iHeartRadio.
Yep.
And Player FM?
No. Overcast. Overcast. I almost did like a wave over my head, but I don't think that would have helped. So Overcast, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podbean, Pod Paradise, Podtail, Podcast Addict, Podcast Land, Podcast Republic, Radio Public, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, and YouTube.
So many.
So that's
good.
it. Pammy, that's it.
Yeah.
Stay tuned next week for part 2.
Yeah.
Part 2 with Beth Morrell. We dive into confessionals, man.
Really fun.
Okay, see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye. Special thanks to Andy Schreier for our adorable theme song.
And David Kantrowitz for our fantastic logo.
And Ramsey Millette and Brian Maylard for their technical support.
If you want to learn more about our show, where you got to go, Pam?
Check out our website, weddingconfessionals.com.
That's it, girl. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.